All right, so I've got a problem. It's a bird problem. My mower's been working great. I bought this Turf Tiger a couple months ago, and I've been able to mow the grass a few times. But as of yesterday, I have a major bird problem. Normally, if someone told me they had a bird problem and that's why they couldn't mow the grass, I would be just laughing my butt off. I would think it's so funny. But when it's happening to you, it's a lot different. What happened yesterday is I was out mowing the grass. All of a sudden, I see these shadows go across the lawn, and I thought, man, maybe that's a fighter jet or something. So I look up in the sky, and there's these two birds hovering right over the top of me. And I thought, oh, well, that's interesting. Maybe I'm kicking some stuff up and they just wanna, pick up some rodents or something. And then I could tell they were getting kind of ticked off because I'm looking up at them and they're staring me right in the face. And I said, oh, okay, what's going on with these birds? Are these birds crazy? And sure enough, these birds that look so beautiful, they were just floating along in the sky. All of a sudden, they start dive bombing. And it was a beautiful sight to see if they weren't coming for me. But they started dive bombing around the grass around me. Some was, 50 feet away. I'm in the middle of a field, and they're dive bombing. And I said, okay, well, maybe these birds, maybe I've upset them about something. I'm gonna go inside and check and see what's going on with this. And I go ahead and I come back inside, get something to drink, and the sky's clear. No birds anywhere. So this was the fence line I was mowing along when I had the second encounter with these birds. And I stopped right here because they were right above me up here in the sky and just circling around. And I said, what is your guys' problem? What are you looking for? And they started dive bombing down, and then they would have to swoop over the top of this fence. So it's like, good thing I stayed along the fence line. But then I decided, okay, these guys are getting a little aggressive. I need to at least figure out what's going on. And I scooted out of here and can tell my line here is all crooked because these birds followed me all the way around. And then when they left, they flew clear over that tree line. So I'm not anywhere near their nest. They just don't like this mower. I'm guessing these birds are probably on meth. I've met some meth heads before, and they have all the symptoms for sure. So what I did is I went inside and I thought, okay, what do I got to do to protect myself? First instinct is, grab something and blow them out of the sky. But since I'm not that crazy, I went ahead and looked up these birds online, and it looks like it's some kind of hawk, raptor, Mississippi kite, something like that. I didn't take the time to really analyze, and I'm not a bird guy. And so I looked them up online, and they're a protected animal. And so I thought, well, I don't want to go to prison anyway, but at the same time, I would definitely not want to go to prison by killing a bird. I mean, you're not going to have a lot of street cred if you're in prison for killing a bird. So what I decided to do was try to figure out, how do I stop the bird from actually hitting me? I'm going to build some type of cage to go around this mower, because at the end of the day, I don't want a giant beak going in the back of my head. If they got something against the Turf Tiger, this is going to happen to me every year. So I want to build something that I can take off the mower and put back on. And I also decided I didn't want to spend any money because, I'm too cheap to be spending any money on this crap. Got a bunch of extra metal, and I've got some orange plastic fencing. So I figured I'd devise something to go ahead and take care of this bird problem until they go ahead and leave. And then I can take it off. And then maybe next year, if it happens again, I'll be ready. So here's what I came up with so far. I put a drop cloth over the engine to keep any metal shavings from flying off the grinder. I've got these two pieces of metal, extra pieces of metal I had, and they fit where this rollover bar is supposed to go. This didn't have a rollover bar with it. And then I drilled some holes in it and used a bunch of extra washers to go ahead and keep it solid. And if I pull on it, it's pretty sturdy. And then I cut an angle at the top to try to flatten it out. And what I'm gonna do is put a rectangle on the top and then be able to put orange fencing around it, because I have a bunch of orange fencing. So like I said, I don't want to spend any money on this. So this is not gonna be the sexiest looking thing. In a way, it's gonna kind of look a little rednecky, and that's what I'm shooting for. I'm not shooting for sexiest. I just want it to be effective for the next month, and then something I can pull off and put to the side once it's done. And if it works, I'll paint it up later. So this is what I got done so far. I went ahead and just took that rectangle piece I was welding and put it on top of these bars. And got a little bit of an angle because I thought, well, you know what? Actually, this is, besides being a bird cage temporarily here, it can make a good canopy. You put something flat on the top of there, keep the sun out of your eyes. I didn't really plan that out that way. It just kind of came together. Sometimes that happens. But I am going to put a brace here from here to here, eliminate any vibrating, but you can see it's pretty sturdy. I mean, I'm shaking the whole mower. I'm happy with it. All finished up with the frame now. I did get this extra piece welded in right here to give it a little extra strength and to eliminate vibration on the end. I had a Kubota with a canopy and it would vibrate all the time. That was kind of annoying. So hopefully this one doesn't vibrate like that. I did weld this support piece in when it was on the ground. I don't know if I showed welding that, but I decided to do that last minute because I said, well, it's going to make a decent canopy. I mean, on hot summer days, you put this on top, the sun's out of your eyes. And so I needed something that would stop something from falling through, give a little extra support when I put something on top. So when it's not a bird cage, it'll make a good canopy. Let's bird proof this mower. Here's the orange fencing I have. This orange fencing was in my building when I bought the building. So it's just been sitting here for years and years. I don't even know what they were doing with it. So I cut that piece out right here that I'll use for the top. And then I've got a piece for the sides that I'll use. The width is just about perfect. So that kind of just worked out that way. Now we'll just zip tie it. So here's what the top looks like. It's pretty solid. Bird's not getting through that. I put way too many zip ties up here, but it's like when I get started with zip ties, I just go crazy. I just can't stop. Now let's put the sides on. I'm just gonna kind of estimate what looks good. Maybe like that. Kind of just sticking out the edge just a little bit. Now the back side. On the back, I'm just going to kind of wrap this like a little present, tuck that in, keep it off the radiator and away from the engine. So I left some on the front so that if I wanted to go ahead and put it across the front, I would be able to do that. And that's if the birds, you know, wanted to come at the front. I don't think the birds are. Birds are going to probably come from the side or from the rear. So I don't really think it's necessary to have it on the front. But it's there just in case. It's kind of thick right there. Well, here it is, folks, our bird-proof Scag Turf Tiger ready to do some mowing. I'm looking out my garage doors here. There's not a bird in the sky. It's a beautiful day to do some mowing. So we're gonna go out and give it a test. I think because it's so crazy looking with all this orange around it, I'm hoping the birds just don't even bother. I hope they take a circle around. They go, wait. Let's not mess with this dude. He's obviously as crazy as we are. If they do decide to come at me, this will be effective in stopping them. I think they're gonna hit me from the side. They're gonna hit me from the back. When you're going forward, I don't think they're gonna hit me from the front. If they did, that could be really bad, couldn't it? They could get like in there and then I'm trying to get out and they're just ripping me to shreds. That would be bad. I don't think that's gonna happen because all the other times they've tried to hit me from the side or they tried to hit me from the rear. So with that, let's go ahead and give it a test and see what happens. Well, this thing ended up working really good. I was able to keep the birds from attacking me, and the birds didn't get hurt, and I got the grass mowed. That's called a win-win-win. You know, with this thing on there, they were actually a lot less aggressive than when I didn't have it on there at all. They were still coming at me, but when I didn't have it on there at all, I think it's because they could see my face and I was looking at them, and they were coming at me a lot more aggressively when I didn't have this thing on there at all. And after about an hour and a half, they actually kind of just left me alone. They came at it a few times, and I think they got the point. They can't go through this thing. It's kind of a tank. It's a bird tank. So with that, thanks for stopping by. You take care, and I'll see you in the next one.